if you buy that property sooner, it means it's going to cost you less and you're going to have less owner-occupied debt and you're going to be in your forever location, forever home. So that ticks that box. We can always circle back and add an additional property on there, all ultimately depending on what's the end game. Where do you want to get to, right, Bryce?
Yeah, North Star. So you raise a really, really important point. I think they should really consider that strongly about their principal place of residence, because if they wait 5 years, to your point, they're going to have a higher debt potentially around that. But my initial response with this is, what's the goal? Do you actually need a third property? Was my first answer. Because if you talk about getting locations right, Ben, PPR in Sydney
Yes.
had a Brisbane property 10 years ago and had a Perth property 3 years ago. Like, that's a beautiful timing story there, folks, just as a borderless investor. So
Bryce, I'm just thinking, have we promised each of the three kids one property each?
Yeah. I'll have to send him on. Thanks, Dad. So Monty, I think that's a really, really important question for the both of you to consider, which is, do you actually need a third? What are you going for? Is it 2,000 a week passive? Is it 1,500 a week passive? Is it 3,000 a week? Because then what we do is we use that as our line in the sand and then actually work out what we actually need to do. Because if you've got aggressive goals, 3,000 is not enough, or you are just someone who is going to be one of the outliers who gets more than 2 investment properties, once you get into 3, which you're about to get into, you get into very rare air in this country. You just might have a predisposition for that. You might be someone who just loves it, loves the game, and so cool. I get that. But my first question would be this: do you actually need a third, or do you need to spend all of your time, energy, and effort reducing the debt in the existing portfolio, so that ultimately, when you do move into the desired principal place of residence in 5 years' time, you're doing it with the minimal amount of debt that you possibly can. And of course, building up money and offsets, so that it gives you opportunities to keep existing properties. If you existing PPR as an investment property is part of that discussion too, that might be part of the mix. But I'd and you talked, the way you've structured this question, it sounds like, this is what it sounds like to me, that all of the portfolio is secured against your principal place of residence. So it sounds like your investment properties probably have 80 or 90% loans against them, and then all of the remaining debt is secured against the principal place of residence. So to your question, I think most people feel comfortable protecting their principal place of residence at all costs. When they increase the amount of risk that they're taking by building a principal place of portfolio, by being able to quarantine the essential need, with a roof over their house, roof over their head, that's super important. So you've got separate loans, you've got probably secured against the principal place of residence. That's important. But investment savvy mortgage broker would eat this up in a heartbeat, because they'd probably go and look to release as much equity as you can from the investment properties, whilst quarantining as much as possible the exposure to your principal place of residence.